Hey everyone, we're going to use the figure showing three standing dominoes A, B, and C, and we're going to determine if we're using the law of detachment or law of syllogism. Then we're going to write a statement. Sorry about that. We're going to use the law of syllogism to write a set of statements and a conclusion. And then we're also going to use the law of syllogism again to connect more than two conditional statements. So the first one, it says, is the law of detachment or law of syllogism used? So what we have is if P, then Q. If A is pushed into B, then B will knock into C. That's if P, then Q. All right, it says A is pushed into B, so P happens. And conclusion is, so this P is true, that means Q is true. And remember, P is your hypothesis and Q is your conclusion. So the conclusion is true because the hypothesis is true. That's law of detachment. If the hypothesis is true, then the conclusion is true. Now we're going to write a set of statements in conclusion that demonstrates the law of syllogism. So basically, if A is pushed into B, that's P. If P, then B will be knocked into C. So that is Q. Then we're going to say if B is knocked into C, so our hypothesis now is our conclusion is now our hypothesis, then B is knocked towards C. So our law of syllogism would be if P, then R. So what you're going to write is if A is pushed into B, that's your P, then R is this. B is knocked towards C. Sorry about my handwriting. The next one, it says, suppose domino D, so we have a domino D here. I'm not going to draw it, but it's back here somewhere, is placed behind domino C. Write a set of statements and a conclusion that demonstrate the law of syllogism being used to connect more than two conditional statements. So instead of writing it all out, I'm just going to use P's and Q's. So if A knocks into B, so that's a P. Let's just don't use that. Let's just use A's and B's. All right. If A knocks into B, then B knocks into C, then C knocks into D. That means that A is going to knock into D, or A pushes into D. So you would write, and if A, if P, so if A, then D. And that would be, if A is pushed into B, then let's just say D will fall down. Or gets knocked over. All right. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.